that light coming on?
Yeah.
Hello?
Hello?
Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
Oh, all right. How are y'all doing?
Good.
Good. Got your little package.
Got my little package. Well, I'll tell you, Laird brought that here a good while back. He had them separated in stacks. And he meant for y'all to have them. I don't know whether you had them all or not.
No, what about that newspaper clipping about the band?
He brought that from out of Catherine's stuff.
Oh.
Everything that he brought here, he's gone crazy, picture crazy too. And everything that he brought here, was into Catherine's things.
Oh.
Now, all this time, I thought Hardy had them. I thought he told me Laird wasn't interested. But Laird is wrapped up in it. And he had every feller's. He had Glenn one of him and his family sitting in Catherine's living room. There's babies. And he had that stack for Charlotte. Did you have that clipping?
No, I didn't.
Well, all of those came from Catherine's pictures. And he came here the first time. The first group he got into, he didn't know who they were. A lot of Hiram's people. And he came here and helped me, had me to help him identify what I could. I remember Hiram's sisters and them better than the boys did. So, anyway, no, those were from him. And I was thrilled to death to see that clipping, for I never had seen it.
No, and I don't remember what
And
state.
I asked him, I said, where was that place?
Don't know.
And he said it must have been local.
No, it wasn't. It was somewhere out west or up northwest.
Well, that was a beautiful bunch of people. But and he told me that you and his dog.
Yeah, was that Smut?
Smut. Don't you remember? Glenn told about Catherine. Miss Evans, get Smut in. She's afraid to get killed on the road. And he said, all right. She went in the house and he said, Smut, come here, you son of a bitch. Glenn heard it. Glenn thought that was so funny. He had to say it where she couldn't hear.
Yeah.
But anyway, I'm glad that I finally got to send them to y'all.
Well, we were thrilled to get them.
Good. But those were Catherine's. None of them came from me.
Well,
And when somebody asked me to do something, I didn't disturb them. I mean, I went through them and looked and enjoyed them. They lay right here in a stack, so I could get them off to you.
Well, I'm glad. Are you doing okay?
Yeah, I was really doing all right, Charlotte. I've had a lot of company this week. It looks like the children, when war broke out, the children all come here to sit around and keep it on Fox News. Of course, I had to feed them.
Yeah.
But I'm getting rested now again.
Good.
I don't know that they come here like they're scared.
Yeah.
And I guess it's because me and Jean was always so laid back.
Yeah.
Quick as they leave, I turn that off. I listen to some of it, but I
don't watch it.
Not all the time. I know there's people that stay glued to it, but one of the things I can't stand is those stupid questions the media asks those people. Like if they answered them, they'd be giving away where they were.
Right.
And it just goes on and on and on. But Lord, my heart's broke for the boys.
Yeah.
And those people.
Yeah. But, enjoyed your note about 4th of July, too. And,
Well, have you got a notice?
not lately. Just the first one.
Well, listen to this one. Hardy must have mailed it to y'all's old address. I don't know why that he brought me a flock here to mail, but he said these are the ones I don't know, and your name was not on there. So I say it went to the old house.
Well, the 4th of July, we hadn't moved yet. We hadn't even looked for a house.
Well, baby, but this one was just last week.
I mean, but that's when I gave him my address.
Well, the first one that we got came here.
But that was from Kathy.
Oh, yeah.
Hardy's got the old address.
I scratched through it, too. He sent me the list he had. You know, I think she put his return address on it, and I believe it hurt his feelings. And so that's what he's done, is he wrote what he could and then asked me to, well, I'll put one in the mail to you today. The Laird Family and Friends, annual July 4th reunion. July 4th and 5th, 2003, the American Legion Club, Norris Ferry Road, South Shreveport off Ellaby Road. Air conditioning. Friday, July the 4th, 6 p.m. until fishing, dancing, snacks, and picture swapping. And I'll tell you who's to blame for the dancing. Me.
Yeah.
And God knows what I get into. I said, Hardy, I used to love to dance. And he said, well, we'll dance. And I said, who would dance with me? Who would I dance with? Me? Then Saturday, July 5th, 11 a.m. until big barbecue meal prepared by Little Si, all you can eat. Gospel singing provided by Friendship Baptist Church, games and fishing. Please notify everyone there are addresses we do not have. And I'll just put yours in the mail.
Oh, no, that's okay.
You know what I've done? I just showed Reba and Greg theirs. I said, y'all read it. Because I knew they'd take it home and put it in the garbage. I have to remind them the night before.
Yeah, you don't have to mail it.
Okay.
You just read it.
But he's mailed one, and it either went back to him.
It'll come back. It'll come here.
It's got you on there.
Yeah, it'll come here.
And it's got the old address, and I scratched through that. But you're not one of the ones that he put down for me to send.
Okay.
So it went to your apartment.
Yeah, it'll come here though.
You think it will?
Yeah.
Yeah, because these just went out.
Yeah, it'll
I mean,
get here.
he just had mailed. I just got these.
It may come today. We don't
Yeah.
But anyway, if it don't make out to him, you did. Because I read you everything on it.
Right.
He put a roll of stamps in my pocket, and I said, that's about the sweetest gift. I said, Hardy, if that's money, I don't want it. Yeah, I didn't know nothing about all this. And he said, no, it's stamps. Well, he laughed, and I said, I tell you one thing, that's about the sweetest gift anybody could give somebody, a 100 roll of stamps.
Yeah.
And 2 days later, here come this big packet for me to mail.
Oh. Oh, goodness.
Everybody's getting along all right.
Well, good.
Y'all, as far as I know. I wrote Eva Carolyn a note. He had one picture for her holding Hardy. So I'm anxious, though. I told her about the baby.
Yeah.
When is it due?
Hers, July, I think. June or July.
I know Letty brought me a quilt out here that she showed me that she had made for it. And I think she mailed it to Eva.
Good.
Yeah, that'll be somebody else to love.
And you've got a new grandbaby.
Charlotte and Mark. He is beautiful. Now the others was pretty. But this is little Indian. Jet black hair, lots of it, and them dark eyes. Well, you know, though, she's as black-headed as you can get, and her mama too. But this is so different. And don't you think I don't thank God for it, because I worried about that baby with all the medicine she takes and all the ripping and running, and we don't know what she does. But he's a cutie.
Well, good. I think we're going next month to Austin to see Emma, and
Oh, I know that you'd be. Wonder what size she is now.
I don't know. She probably, I can't remember what I sent Christmas. 12. What's the next year? 18 months.
12 to 18.
But I got the bigger size because I knew she'd growing
Are they
fast.
still at the same address that I have?
Yes.
Okay.
Balcones Woods.
I sent him a congratulations card.
I think he mentioned that.
But I've got to. I'd like to send that baby something.
Well, she's got everything under the sun.
I know it, but just something. I know what it'll be. It's what I give all mine. A little Bible.
Yeah, that's what.
A little white Bible and have her name put on it.
You know, that's what I wanted to do Christmas, but I didn't know I couldn't find one.
Charlotte, I went and got coals. Now, I give the boys baby blue, but I give the girls white.
Yeah.
There may be a reason that they want to carry it in their wedding or something, so I didn't want pink.
Yeah.
Charlotte.
Well, where do you get them?
You is helping me. Hold on. Okay, what I have is Michael and Margaret Newman. 4111 Balcones Woods Drive, Austin, Texas. 78759. Baby Emma. Now, all I can get on that Bible is Emma Norman.
Okay.
If she's got another name.
Yeah, it's Patricia, but that's too
All
long.
I could get on the babies was Cole by Nog. I couldn't get Harrison Cole.
Yeah.
She's so tiny.
Yeah.
Thank you. And they'd get it here, right?
Yes. Well, I know they would.
That I don't have to worry about size. And I was just up there the other day and bought coals and never thought of Emma. And now, is that E-M-M-A?
Oh, yeah, E-M-M-A and N-A-U-M-A-N-N.
That's what I got. Well, thank you. See, this was worth everything. And I'm glad I went talking about babies.
Well, where do you get those? Because I could.
Up here at Christian Life and Tapes. And they are simply gorgeous.
Because I asked in our Christian family bookstore, do they have baby Bibles? And it was not the kind of baby Bible that I remember.
Well, one time I went up there to buy a baby Bible, and it was a child's Bible, big old.
Yeah.
And nothing looked like a baby.
Mm-mm.
But now they had to restock. Because, you know, some churches give those. That's how my children got theirs, was in the Sunday school classes when they were born.
Yeah, I think Mark's got one that Aunt Elsie gave him.
Yeah. Well, honey, I wanted to send that baby. And see, this is something that's never late.
Right.
I mean, it's not closed.
No. Well, that would be wonderful.
Oh, I want to do that. The very next time I move the car, I'll go. Hold on 1 second, please. What was that?
Coffee going through.
That was Pat next door.
Uh-huh.
Got a sister and a sister-in-law here, and she said, "Hey, what you doing?" And I said, "I'm on the phone long distance with Charlotte and Mark." She said, "Well, would you please know that I'm going off with Elsie?" Said, "I can't find anybody to tell." I said, "Well, they must love you a whole lot." Me and her cut up and laughed. I said, "Well, when you be back?" "Late this evening." But we do keep one another posted.
Well, good. That's good.
I have good neighbors.
That means a lot.
You betcha. I have one that's older than me, Pat, and one on the other side that's young that just had breast implant and a tummy tuck.
Mm.
I told her I was as jealous as the dickens because I was the one that needed all that.
Oh, Lord.
No, I've had enough tucks.
Emotional life tucks.
Tucks, scars.
Yeah.
Good Lord, yeah. Scar tissue.
Yeah.
No, I did go to a good eye doctor, though, and I went prepared to tell him, look, if you mention cataract surgery, I'll get up and walk out. I made up my mind right now. I'm too overloaded and overwhelmed. And I went, and he did. He said, I had cataracts on both eyes. I said, doctor, I'm not ready for surgery. He said, oh, no, they're not ready for surgery.
No good.
I said, thank you. And I said, because I said right now, emotionally, I couldn't stand that. And let's see, I did need new glasses, but I hadn't got them filled yet because I couldn't see. And let me think. He said, and you got a floater in the left eye. I said, what is that? He said, well, it's a speck that moves around. And he said, you probably are accustomed to it. I don't know when it happened, but you have become used to it. A little spot before your eyes.
Yeah, you'll see it float by out of the corner of your eye.
I said, well, thank you, doctor. I thought that was my heart. And I did.
Yeah.
I get floaty and dizzy. But anyway, I'm glad I got that behind me. Now I'll get me some good glasses. Maybe I can see better.
Well, good.
But I thought that was good for my age.
Yeah.
He said, oh, no. You're nowhere near surgery.
Well, good. Great.
So I have many blessings.
Yes.
You just can't imagine how many.
That's true.
One of them is y'all.
Well, one of ours is you.
And Hardy coming in here and sitting and visiting, and Laird. They all remember me.
That's because you're loved.
Well, and I love.
That's right.
It's strange that my family, all of them come first.
Well, that's the way it...
And each time my sisters had children, they was mine, too.
Well, we're planning on trying to be there 4th of July. So.
You must. And we'll dance.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, how's Mommy?
She's doing good. She's got her puppy. Did I write y'all that? I went against everything that I told her. And now it's almost a daily conversation. Mommy gets hung up on one thing, and there is no moving her. But she told me, I don't know what I'm going to do about this puppy. It's a beautiful little German Shepherd. And Ed won't. She said that we got our puppy. I said, well, good. Then the next morning, I don't know what I'm going to do about this puppy. And that starts up every conversation. She said, Ed wanted a German Shepherd. I said, well, why didn't Ed take it? So she's kind of toned down. She knows not to. I'm not going to listen to that twice a day. With me telling them, don't do it.
Yeah.
I was afraid of a puppy because of throwing her down.
Yeah, that's right. And that's going to be a big, powerful...
That is going to be, and they paid $250 for it. And here I am taking strays. And not only that, they owe about $300. She owes about $300 every month to the vet. So they live a little different to me.
Yes.
But I don't want to hear about it.
No. Don't be complaining about it.
The next day, I had spent weeks, ever since Grizzly died, telling her, don't get a puppy. Get a dog that needs a home. It's been mistreated, maybe.
Yeah.
Well, damned if they didn't go pay $250. Betty Farmer told them somebody that had them down the road here from me.
Mm.
And then start the next morning, don't know what to do with it.
Mm. Well, I'm like you. It'll end up throwing her down.
Yeah, well, she's just barely walking now.
Yeah.
And I have to watch these dogs,
Mm.
especially if it's storming.
Yeah.
They'll wrap around my legs.
Mm.
So, but I was trying to look out for her.
Yeah. Mm.
But anyway, she'll never change, Mark.
No. She.
Ed and Kathy are complaining about the same thing over and over and over and over. And I told them, I said, well, now that is really not age. That's Essie.
Mm.
But everybody loves her.
Yeah. Everybody's got their bad side and their good side.
Right. And she sends me cards about every other day, which I told her, I said, you know how to keep me wound up and going. Just send me them cards bragging on me every day.
Mm.
Boy, she laughs.
Well, what?
She and I will go to church in the morning. Jerry told me that was not only her spiritual life, and I didn't tell him, well, it's not no spiritual life, for she sleeps throughout. But he said that's not only her spiritual life, it's her social life.
Mm-hmm. Right. Well, how's Uncle Glenn and Aunt Savannah?
I called Glenn the other day. Gertrude was just laughing, and she said, I'm in the other room. Do you have time to talk to him? And I said, oh, yeah. And he talked real good. And both of them, Gertrude said he had a very, very good sitter.
Mm.
And, she's not having to do any lifting or moving or anything.
Oh, good.
And let me think. Savannah, I don't know if I called and told you that she fell again, but hit her bookcase and just bruised her side a little bit.
Mm-mm.
And they x-rayed and it was nothing again.
Okay.
But I wouldn't take all the money in the world for y'all coming down here in that trip.
Me either.
Well, you think maybe around when we come down for July, we could maybe do
We'll
that
try.
again?
Because she'll tell you quick when she wants to go.
Yeah.
And you just have to be ready to go.
Yeah.
And that's no trouble, as close as she is.
No.
I'm a little afraid to try it by myself, because if she went down, I'd go down with her.
Yeah.
And we just lay there.
Yeah.
Just have to wait for somebody to come by.
And if it was where nobody could see us, she'd say, you're killing me. You're killing me. That's what she tells them when I take her when she has to go to the doctor. Y'all are killing me. But no, everything, I just, and as for going through her things and being just overwhelmed with that all up there, one day I said to myself, instead of complaining about that, enjoy it.
Mm-hmm.
And I've quit complaining. And what I don't get done, y'all will have to do.
Right.
But I'm going as fast as I can, because I do care about her stuff and about her.
That's right.
And I always try to put myself in that person's place. What would you want somebody to do you?
Right. Well, what about Dr. Islam?
Well, I just tell y'all, I have had to laugh. Did I tell you he got called up?
No.
He called me one day. I had never heard. It's a wonder he wasn't speaking in Bengali. He's going so fast. Called up for active duty.
Wow. I didn't know he was in the reserve.
Yeah.
He is in the reserves and is a captain. And I tell you, if that man run up a $200 phone bill here. But it is strange what happened. They told him, he called them and told them he couldn't do that because he had 2 practices and so forth and so on. They told him if he didn't report to the Great Lakes on a Friday morning, that's been 3 weeks ago, that he would be AWOL. Well, I tell y'all, if anybody could have had a heart attack, he called back. He had to cut his trip here short and go back. And they called. He told them he just couldn't go. He couldn't go. They called a board meeting there in Nashville. There was 2 doctors and 2 lawyers and 2 professional people. And he called me that night and said, I've been sitting in front of them all evening and begging them, telling them that I have over 3,000 inactive patients in Shreveport and hundreds active. And I have 100 active here in Nashville. There's no other doctor who practices this kind of medicine. And so he took his phone books and everything and showed them that he was the only one listed, and to create a hardship for his patients, and one thing or another. He got home that night, he called me and he said, I think I did pretty good. Well, before the night early the next morning they called him and said they voted him down. He'd have to report. They had told him at that meeting that he could appeal to Washington. Well, he didn't. He hadn't figured out how. And then late that evening, he said, I'm not able. So they said I'd be in Memphis Thursday evening and then on to Chicago Friday, or I'd be AWOL. And he said, Billie, I'm not even able to drive to Memphis. He said, I won't have to get somebody to take me. I felt sorry for him. And he said, and then if they want me in the Great Lakes, they'll have to carry me because I'm not able to drive. Do you believe the next day, I guess it was about 3 o'clock, he called me and said, Billie, did you know a woman called from Washington and said I was excused and made a hardship case? I said, Doctor, I'd get that in writing. He said, it's here. Chief had just got it for me off the email. Well, he said, that's prayer, Billie. He said, all my patients was praying, y'all was praying. I was praying for anything that would save his soul. And anyway, I said, I'd sure have that in writing. I wouldn't, he said, it's already here. He went that weekend, come up, and it was his naval duty there in Nashville. And he went, and none of them were speaking to him. And one of the men said, he's got buddies high up. Well, he doesn't. And one of them just said, I want to see the paper. And he said, what would you do? I said, I'd let it go in one ear and out the other. You'll retire in December. You can put up with that till December. But he got the living daylight scared out of it.
He retires from the reserve?
Yeah. I said, how? I said, well, wait a minute. He said, help me decide what to do. And I said, well, you can't be AWOL. And I said, now, when you retire in December, how long you got to go? He said, December. I said, and then when you retire, what will that income be? He said, $3,000 a month.
God.
I said, then I'd tough out anything, Doc, till December. Because I don't know how long he's been in it, 20, 30 years.
Gosh.
Well, that's a good retirement.
And think about all the rest he's got. But I said, I wouldn't give that up
No.
for people not speaking to me.
All right.
Because you didn't have a high up in Washington. That must have just been automatically appealed.
He had a high up. It was God.
I told him. That's what I told him. I said, you see, and I pray in the name of Jesus and everything around him. I said, you see, Doctor, we can do nothing. Well, I think he told him that he did have a higher power. I said, we can do nothing, but God is in control of everything. The Almighty God is in charge of everything. But I said, that man is Christian and don't know it. And people laugh at me when they say that. I mean, I've said it, and they said, what are you talking about, you know? But I think he is. Because wherever we go, say your prayer. Say your prayer.
Yeah.
He don't say his prayer. But anyway, I felt sorry for him. But I know that he put $1,000 on that phone because it rang 2 or 3 times a day. To me.
Yeah. Yeah. Well.
And one time he left a message here. I'd been to water to call me as quick as he got in. That was Monday when I went to the eye doctor. I called him and he said, hang up. I'll call you right back. And he did. He won't let me call him.
Well, good. Well.
Y'all see him. Tell him you're glad that he got out of that.
I wish, I tell Mark every now and then, I wish we could see Dr. Islam.
Well, he sits up at that office, and I don't think he sees patients but on Mondays and Thursdays. Now, he must have been seeing patients Monday when I called him. That was when he had been to naval duty that weekend, and they didn't speak. But I can live with that.
Yeah. Those people are not going to pay him a dime.
No. People talk about... I said, when people talk about your doctor, it means you hadn't done anything.
It's just jealous.
Jealous? They've always been jealous of him. And you know what that is? Prejudice. They don't understand how he could go to the top like that. And like I said, God's been good to him. And he has to see it.
Yeah.
They don't understand how they can fight for a long time and never be captain. And how he did it. But I want you to know he served his naval duty every summer for 3 weeks at different hospitals. Japan, everywhere there was a naval base. He'd go serve his Florida, California. He went and served his 3 weeks. And he also, every 1 weekend a month, he does reserve duty. So they couldn't find that against him, you know.
No. Anybody that's not in leadership is jealous of the leaders. They talk about them.
You're right.
That's in the office, anywhere.
That's what I told him. And I said, any people that talk about you like that, it's jealousy. And they just don't think anybody can do anything on their own with God's help. He said he told that man, I did have full prayer.
Well, we just wanted to check on you and thank you for our package.
Well, and you have enlightened my load. I'm not going to move the car today, but I know what to get Emma.
Well, that's wonderful, because I couldn't find one.
And I've got baby paper, and I will wrap it. No, that's my joy. And what I will put is great, is this right? From great Aunt Billie Arthur.
Is it? Aunt? Yes. No?
I'm Mark's great aunt.
Right.
Okay.
And I'm Michael's great aunt.
Okay.
So she would, I would be her great.
Okay.
And you know, just that is enough to treasure. All them greats.
Because you are
great.
Yeah. Yeah, Kathy said when I was going to help her with Christy's wedding shower, she said, I'm going to put by great Aunt Billie and wonderful Aunt Kathy.
Oh.
But how's y'all's jobs going?
Okay. Just
busy all the time.
Well, Mark, that's better than being idle. I don't like a boring day at work.
no. It's just a battle from the time you get there to the time you leave.
Well, that's kind of what I like.
Well, no. It's
Too much battle?
Too much.
Have you learned to drop it at the door?
Yeah. Have to.
Have to survive.
Yeah. But thankful to have a job,
I'm
so
telling you, Charlotte.
I'm not gonna complain. So, but I guess we better go.
That's the way with me now. I instead of complaining about my health, every prayer is, thank you, God, for my strength and my health.
That's right.
Because I believe the way you think makes what you are.
That's right.
It does.
It makes your attitude, your outlook.
Yeah. And I think I'm doing good.
Yeah, you sound like you
I'll
are.
tell you what I've learned. You know, you have to learn about your own self. The water is necessary as much as sometimes I despise to go. I don't want to drop everything and go. I've got to do that, and I have to rest. And then that gives me the spurt to go on, you know. But those two things are necessities.
Yes. You have to take care of yourself. You have to treat yourself good.
Yeah, and it bothers me that things go undone, but I just have to do it slower.
Well, there's always going to be things
I'll
undone.
leave mine a mess. And that's what I got to laughing about. Who are you fooling? And like Jean said, Billie, now, if you ever got everything done and just exactly like you wanted, what would you do?
That's what I was going to say.
He used to ask me that, and he wasn't dumb. So, and Mama would always say, if it wasn't for hopes, hearts would fail.
But you need some things left undone so you'll have something to do.
Challenge, yeah. Go after it. Hey, just if I get one little thing done today.
But if you don't, that's okay.
With me it is.
Me too. But I guess we're going to go.
Thank you for calling. And what a spurt of joy to realize I could send them a little bitty Bible.
Well, that would be wonderful.
Yes. I'll be out Monday, and I'll do that.
Yeah. Well, that's...
You know, they engrave it while you're there.
Oh.
Well, we've got to find some place around here that does that.
Well, I won't have to now.
No, let me give this. I want to.
There might be a place, but I couldn't find it before Christmas. So.
I wish you'd have told me. Here I was thinking about sending clothes. And if there's anything they have plenty of, it's clothes.
Yes. They take her picture.
Every time they bring these babies in here, they're in something new.
Yeah.
They must live at Walmart or something.
Yeah. Well, we love you, baby.
We love y'all. And now I read your invitation, didn't I?
Yes.
Okay. I made Reba read hers, and Craig read his, and I said, because I'm saving these stamps. Hardy thought he'd give me a box of stamps. And I'm cheating. But yours is coming, because he sent it to that old address.
Yeah, it'll get here. So.
Because, I know it didn't go back to him, but I hadn't seen him, since we've done all the mailing.
No,
He had mailed out in his own handwriting all that was on the list.
Yeah.
All were on the list, but it was Nolansville Road.
Yeah, that's okay. But we'll be talking to you for too long.
Thank y'all for calling. Thank y'all so much.
Well, thank you for answering.
Sometimes I'm tempted to say that to people, and I think they won't know what in the hell I'm talking about. They will think I've gone off my rocker. But I was there, and I saw Daddy thrashing around for something to respond. Me and Jerry just jumped and looked at one another. Thank you, son. Thank you for answering your phone. And it was that man's cattle that was out on the road.
Oh.
I love you. y'all.
I love you.
Too.
And I'll talk to you later.
Okay.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.